Pompeo, thank you so much for being with us.
It's great to be with you all.
An Army guy surrounded by these.
It's very nice of them to allow me here today on the ship. It's great fun and great Americans serving our country.
Well, thank you very much. By the way, Fleet Week is brought to you here on Fox & Friends this week by USAA, our friends.
That's right.
All right, so Mr. Secretary, we understand it's going to be an intense day today. Word is out that the Pentagon's asking for 5,000 troops to go into the region. It's revolving around the threat that you know about coming from Iran. What could you tell us here today?
So the threat is real. It's been credible. Without getting into specifics, you can be sure that President Trump will ensure that we have all the resources necessary to respond in the event that the Islamic Republic of Iran should decide to attack Americans or American interests or some of our great soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines who are serving in that region, or the diplomats serving in Iraq or elsewhere. The exact force posture the President's looking at every day. We're evaluating the risks, making sure that we have it right. This is an important mission. We have 40 years of terror coming out of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and President Trump is determined to change the course of that regime.
There are stories that in the country of Iran, the sanctions have taken such a toll, the people are desperate. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of unrest in the country. So ultimately, the sanctions are working. The question is, what do they do next?
Yeah, the sanctions have certainly had their intended effect, that they have put constraints on the leadership in Iran's ability to foment terror. Right? There are Hezbollah soldiers who are no longer being paid or being paid a fraction of what they were being paid before. Their ability to expand their terror network around has been reduced. The previous administration took a different path. They underwrote that government, giving them hundreds of billions of dollars and the ability to put the terror team in place that we're seeing today, the very terror threat that we're facing. President Trump's taken a very different course of action. We're determined to stop not only their nuclear program and from them ever getting a nuclear weapon, but to prevent them from building out their missile program and conducting terror campaigns.
So the sanctions are working, and they're retaliating as a result?
Yeah, I think that's true. It's a little more complicated than that in the sense of you have to remember the history. They killed 600 American soldiers long before
just the
our
ones
pressure.
That are unclassified that we
That's
know
right.
of.
Just before the pressure campaign, they blew up an embassy. There's a long history of Iranian terror that long predates our sanctions efforts. So this isn't just about our sanctions. This is about the nature of this theocratic regime, these kleptocrats in Tehran, and we're determined to push back against
And Mr. Secretary, there's no doubt about it, Dianne Feinstein is ranking member in the Intelligence Committee, having meetings with the foreign minister Zarif, having dinner with him, bragging to people that she has his cell phone. And what about the fact that people have said, and the president has brought up, that John Kerry is essentially giving a message to wait out this 4 years, wait out this president, then we'll get somebody else in there. Have you felt that, and has that affected your job?
Undoubtedly, and it's true. I mean, I was in Munich when I saw not only Kerry, but Wendy Sherman, Ernest Moniz, the whole gang that crafted that terrible deal. They were there. They met with the Iranian leadership. I can't tell you the exact details of what they said.
Happened before?
I can't tell you, but it's unusual, and more importantly, it's wrong. Every American should support America's foreign policy. They had their moment. They had their day. It's time to get off the stage. These acts border. We all know the Logan Act. We all know the risk that is taken when people act as private citizens on behalf of the United States government.
What about John Brennan briefing Democrats yesterday? What is John Brennan briefing Democrats on Iran for?
You'll have to ask the Democrats. I mean, this is the man who directed the CIA at the time that this terror regime grew. I couldn't tell you why they were looking to him for expertise on this issue.
All right, let's switch gears. John Walker Lynn, the so-called American